Today in Annapolis, a local man takes a controversial plea deal over a car fire at the mall. Hey, I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett here in Annapolis. All right, let's set the stage for this one. Sean Patrick Green from Glen Burnie has been sentenced after entering an Alford plea in connection with a car arson at Marley Station Mall. An Alford plea. A defendant does not admit guilt, but acknowledges the prosecution likely has enough evidence to win at trial, and it results in a conviction, just like a standard guilty plea. The sentencing, on April 3rd, is tied to that disturbing incident where a car was set on fire in the Marley Station Mall parking lot in Glen Burnie, which is right here in Anne Arundel County.
Let's unpack this. A car torched in a mall lot is not just property damage, it's a public safety situation. You've got shoppers, employees, families in a busy area, fire spreads fast, and smoke can overwhelm people before they realize what's happening. And the Alford plea part, why would someone choose that, or why would the system allow it?
Good question. Defendants sometimes choose an Alford plea to avoid the uncertainty of trial, since it can reduce the risk of harsher penalties if convicted by a jury. For the court, it can resolve a case efficiently when the evidence is strong. Bottom line, it's still a conviction and a sentence follows. The person faces consequences under the law, even if they don't say the words, "I did it."
And the community side of this is big. People go to Marley for errands and weekend hangouts. An arson there shakes that sense of normal. The surprising part is just how brazen it is, a car fire in a public lot. The stakes are high because even a contained vehicle fire can spark nearby cars or injure first responders. April 3rd sentencing at least closes the loop on the court piece.
There's also the legal ripple. Alford pleas remind us that our system has tools to balance efficiency and fairness. Some folks here does not admit guilt and think no accountability, but courts treat the plea as a conviction with the same record and sentence. It acknowledges the strength of evidence without forcing an explicit confession, which can matter in complicated cases.
Real talk, I'm uneasy. I get that it's lawful and sometimes practical, but when someone takes an Alford plea in a case that put bystanders at risk, it can feel like a sidestep of responsibility. Still, the conviction stands, and I respect that the judge weighed the evidence in the law. It's a tough balance between efficiency and a clear public sense of accountability. Let's bounce over to the next piece. A fugitive with 9 open warrants was captured using drone technology by Anne Arundel County Police.
9 warrants. That's a lot. Here's the tech angle. Police used a drone, which is a small remote-controlled aircraft with a camera, to confirm the suspect's location. That reduces the need for risky foot chases or door-to-door searches. On April 3rd, that aerial view helped officers plan a safer approach and make the arrest while keeping the public out of harm's way.
The safety benefits are huge. A drone can see blind spots from above and relay live video. That means officers know what they're walking into and can de-escalate. For neighbors, fewer sirens and less chaos on the block. And 9 open warrants, that's the surprising part. It signals a history that needed to be addressed for community safety.
Tools like drones aren't about flash, they're about information. Better intel means fewer surprises, fewer injuries, and cleaner arrests. I like that the department used the tech to minimize risk rather than escalate a chase. It's efficient, and it keeps bystanders and officers safer. Here's a thought I've been turning over. Spring has emerged at Truxton Park, the crown jewel of Annapolis city parks.
Truxton Park is 70 acres of waterfront right in the city, with a recreation center, public pool, basketball and tennis, plus pickleball courts, ball fields, a skateboard park, and a public boat ramp. Most of that land stays in a primitive natural state, which is a gift in a busy town. Trails, quiet coves, and those early spring views are like therapy without a copay.
The history is wild. Truxton Beale, a retired American diplomat who once served as the U.S. Minister to Persia, tried to donate the property to Annapolis back in 1930. The city council initially said no and only accepted it in 1955. There's a 1985 plaque at Lookout Point donated by Katrina Beale Bowie Lee, and if you've walked the old roadbed trail, that's a remnant of the Bay Ridge and Annapolis Railroad, built in 1886. The Bay Ridge Resort closed in 1903, and during World War I, the tracks were torn up for scrap metal.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Environmental changes are reshaping the park. We're seeing a decline in oak trees. Global warming, meaning the gradual long-term increase in average temperatures, stresses certain species and makes them more vulnerable to disease and pests. The park is this living classroom for how history and nature overlap, and also how climate can change what grows in our backyard.
I'm down for that kind of off-the-beaten-path wander. Truxton has those little moments where you turn a corner and the past shows up, like an old rail bed under your feet. It's a reminder to keep it chill, but also to take care of what we've got, because once those big oaks are gone, they don't come back quickly.
That one gave me chills. Parks are community hearts. They're where kids learn to ride bikes and grandparents take their morning walks. Preserving Truxton's natural and historical layers matters. Plant more trees, keep the trails maintained, and treat the place like the rare city oasis it is. What's next on our list? The Spring Art Walk in Annapolis is a colorful evening of galleries and creativity.
Mark it down. Thursday, April 16th, 5 to 8 p.m. The Annapolis Gallery Association, which is a coalition of local galleries downtown, is hosting. Expect artist talks, new exhibitions with a focus on bold color and fresh techniques, and a fun twist like the faux photo booth, where an artist sketches your portrait instead of snapping a photo. Gallery 57 West is doing a Poetry of Pictures open house, pairing words with images. That's pretty cool, right?
I love events where you can meet the artist and ask simple questions like, how did you get that texture? It breaks down the wall between creator and community. Plus, spreading the art walk to 4 evenings a year means more chances for people to plug in, whether you collect or you're just browsing with a coffee in hand after work.
I could get behind that idea. Art shows like this make downtown feel alive, and the sketch booth is a memory you take home. It's low pressure, high vibe, and a great way to discover a new favorite local artist.
Let's open the book on this. Compass Rose Theater is celebrating its 15th anniversary with a cabaret show.
Compass Rose Theater, founded in 2011 by Lucinda Mary Brown, is a local company known for strong acting instruction for all ages. They've earned several Helen Hayes nominations, which are respected regional theater honors. The Anniversary Cabaret opens April 10th at Unity by the Bay in Annapolis and runs through April 26th. Cabaret, a variety-style performance with songs and stories in an intimate setting, often pulling highlights from past productions.
Their resilience stands out. During the pandemic, they pivoted to online shows to keep performances going. That's nimble. In 2023, Governor Wes Moore attended their Wizard of Oz, which says a lot about their reach. And my favorite detail is practical. A former student uses acting skills to run a used car dealership. Translation: theater builds communication and confidence that work anywhere, not just on stage.
That's worth exploring as a community value. 15 years is real staying power, and it means there's a pipeline for young performers, teachers, and crew right here in Annapolis. The cabaret feels like a thank you letter set to music.
And that's close to the heart of it. Theater skills help people speak up at work, listen better, and collaborate. Big cheers to Compass Rose for the anniversary, the nominations, and the new show. And there we have it. Full circle from Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Annapolis. Thanks for tuning in and be sure to join us again tomorrow. Have a great day.